Piggy's Picks. Been missing in action for a little while, handling some tragedies in the family, but we are back. And today our pick of the week is an oldie but a goodie, HeMan. That's right. And maybe I need your help because I'm kind of thinking about what I want to do as far as displays. And I would like to know, because I like them both, who do you think is the better HeMan? Let's jump into a little character history. So HeMan actually started in the comics. There was no Prince Adam. He was just like a savage type of dude. He was the answer to Conan. I think even Mattel was sued by the Conan creators because they were like, come on man, this is all the way Conan. There are even some covers of the HeMan that almost are an exact match for Conan. I love Conan too, by the way. But, you know, they made a few changes here and there. They said, forget it, we'll roll with it. And that's where we got the Filmation cartoon. So growing up, that Filmation cartoon was my world. You had HeMan, his alter ego, Prince Adam. Prince Adam was kind of like mousy, acting all afraid. He'd go around the corner, he turned into HeMan. His cat Cringer turns into Battle Cat. He had the whole Masters of the Universe, his parents, King Randor and Queen Marlena. He had the whole Masters of the Universe behind him. You had like Man-at-Arms training him. You had Tila by his side. You had Orko with the horrible magic, giving you that Aunt Clara from Bewitched flavor. I mean, the characters are endless. You had Fisto, but I'll leave that out so we can keep this PG-13. And, you know, eventually he got a twin sister named She-Ra. The cartoon was actually created to sell the toy, and it became a phenomenon. And I mean, I was a HeMan addict. I won't go into the decline of the toy sale and kind of how the She-Ra and the Princess of Power figures played a part in that. But HeMan was amazing, just keeping it with HeMan. We got a few more iterations of them. We got a movie in, I think, was that 89 or 90. I did not like the movie at all. I do own the movie, but yeah, that was a whole nother story. You know, growing up as a teenager, 1989 or whatever, we're going into a theater and you're expecting to see kind of like a live action version of what the cartoon was. And as an adult, I know there are budget restraints and rewrites and production hell and all of that. But as a child, I wasn't having it. As a teenager, I wasn't having it. But it's since become a cult classic, and I appreciate it for what it is. Dolph Lundgren, who used to be with my girl Grace Jones, actually portrayed him in the movie, and you'll remember him from like the Rocky films, and it kind of gave me that whole Beastmaster flavor, so that I did appreciate. Moving on, 1990. We got a whole nother HeMan. He was on a whole nother planet. I guess they were giving him a makeover. He had like a mullet and a ponytail. He was wearing like some like blue tights and stuff. He was kind of dressed like Bo from the She-Ra cartoon, and it was whack. But some people love it. I'm not here to, you know, pee on their cornflakes. It wasn't for me. So moving on, let's say the early 2000s, we got a new HeMan cartoon that was amazing. I mean, it's amazing. I could watch them over and over again. The stories, the animation, the plots, everything was just phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. I can't praise that enough. We had like 2 good seasons, I believe, and then it left off. You know, we knew that Hordak and the Horde was coming. We had King Hiss coming in the midst. They were fighting the Snake Man. It was phenomenal, but I believe it wasn't selling enough toys, which is what these programs are designed for, to shamelessly market to the children and to some of us adults. So they pulled the plug on that. Fast forward to now, like 2021, 2022, We got two versions on Netflix. We got the Kevin Smith version that there's a great divide amongst the fans about. I did not care for it. Some people loved it. It was not good at all to me because HeMan was only a special guest appearance here and there on what's supposed to be his own show, and it was more of the Tila show. But I could have even appreciated that. You know what? I'm not even going to go down that path. Drop me a comment if you want to do a video. If you want me to do a video about that, or even we can do a live about that. And there's also a Netflix version where it's like a 3D type of affair, and it looks pretty good. I caught like a minute here and a minute there. I couldn't really, get into it, but I hear it's really good and it's on my list to check out. I just haven't really, I wasn't feeling it like that, but it may be good and I'm gonna give it a chance. I think it just got renewed for like another season or two, so it must be pretty good. They're doing another live action version, and I'm a little iffy about it because it's been in development hell forever, and now they're casting the dude from like the West Side Story musical remake to play He-Man, and I'm sure he's in shape because he was a dancer or whatever, but I don't know. I'm not really getting He-Man, but we'll wait to see what happens as we get closer to the release for that. All right. So that's more than enough character history on this dude. I just always have to throw that in there. Let's get started. So on my right, we have the PCS Pop Culture Shock quarter scale He-Man figure. This dude is amazing. I love him. He's massive, and he is more kind of appropriate to the He-Man and the comics. And I'm doing a whole display for Masters of the Universe because there's a whole comic thing about like He-Man versus Superman and He-Man versus Thundercats, and all three of them kind of going at each other. So that should be pretty sweet. I mean, he looks really good. The muscles are bulging. He's mixed media, so he's got like some fur around his boots and some fur on his underwear. But otherwise, I mean, he looks really good. He's got the sword of power. He's got his battle axe. He's got his shield. He's standing on like a little piece of Castle Grayskull. I think it's a really good sculpt, and it's kind of close to how he's depicted in a lot of the comics. To my left, we have Sideshow's 5th scale He-Man. He also has the option to have the battle axe as the exclusive version, which this is. However, for my display purposes, it works better for him to have the sword in hand as well. But he also has one on his back. He's wearing a cape. He has a shield as well. He's kind of standing on a piece or a part of the tower on Castle Grayskull. This one, it's mixed media in that he has a cape that can be removed, and there's kind of like some leather holding his shield to his arm, but otherwise, like everything else is sculpted, like his kilt, his boots, everything is straight up sculpted. So they both stand at 23 inches tall. You say, how is that? Well, the measurement goes to the top of the sword, and the quarter scale is kind of crouching down, so they're both in battle mode, but he's not standing straight up. So they're both pretty appropriate and in scale, and I think they both look amazing. I think normally I kind of go with Sideshow a lot over PCS because PCS can get very cartoony, which is a weird word to use when we're talking about a dude in the cartoons, but PCS kept it really comic appropriate with this one. I mean, you can see the veins bulging in his muscles, everything. They did a really good job. I think the paint is pretty decent. You can even see like some of the green in his veins and his shoulder. And then when you come over here to the Sideshow version, they kept it pretty accurate to, like, he kind of puts me in mind of Dolph Lundgren, who portrayed him in the movie. So it's kind of like, okay, you have a movie version, you have the comic book version, I may need the cartoon version. But yeah, I think they're both pretty dope, but I would like to know what your thoughts are about it. Again, please don't forget, we're giving away at the 500 subscriber mark, which I believe are approaching. I haven't checked it lately. We may be there. The Superman versus Darkseid. So stay tuned for that giveaway. We'll pick a random comment, and you know how it works from when we gave away the Black Panther statue. So again, let me know. Please leave me a comment. Please like, subscribe, share, click the notification bell so you can see when we go live to do the giveaway. And again, let me know in the comments, which one do you prefer? Do you like the PCS or do you like the Sideshow? I'll leave it up to you. Thank you for tuning in. This is Piggy's Picks.